Recently, I had a client, Susie, ask me a question that was a really awesome question. In fact, in 30 years of training leaders, maybe the best question I've ever been asked. And why is it such a good question? Because the question itself and the answer that I gave Susie is a game changer. I know for myself that the dilemma that she described and the answer to the question is something that's made a major impact in my life, and I absolutely know that it can help you create more results in your life of whatever it is that you'd love to achieve. You see, because transformational leadership is all about transforming one result into another result, to go beyond the current result. So whether you are a leader of a large company, you own your own company like Susie, a small company, or you are a manager, a leader in a company where you have a team that you manage, or you're a leader in your family, or the most important kind of leadership, self-leadership. The truth is we all want more success. We all want more results. So Susie was really in a great place in many ways. Susie had a growing company. Susie had more demand for her services than she could accommodate on her own. And in terms of the work that we were doing, we had identified that Susie needed to create a training program so that she could train some people to do some of the stuff that was happening in her company and allow her to focus more on the things that really matter to her, the things that are only for her to do as the owner and leader in this organization. And yet the trouble that Susie found is that oftentimes training someone else to do it, and if they don't do it right, then cleaning up what they didn't do right, takes more time than just doing it yourself. You understand what I'm talking about? Have you ever been in a moment where you realize, man, it would have been easier to just do it myself? I think we've all had that moment. Well, that's where Susie found herself. And so we had identified that she needed to create a training program that would absolutely help her train the people to do the work. And she was really struggling with this. She found herself not doing the process to create the training program. And she said, John, what's the number one thing people do to sabotage their own success, in your opinion? Went, wow, what's the number one thing? And specifically in this case, the number one thing transformational leaders do to sabotage their success. And after about 30 seconds of contemplation, the answer was crystal clear for me. There is something that we all do at times that sabotages our success. And there's a simple fix, and when we implement this fix, amazing things can happen. The number one thing that leaders do, transformational leaders, leaders of all kind, whether you're a command and control leader, whether you are an inspiring leader or a transformational leader, one of the temptations that leaders face is to focus on the problem. We identify, oftentimes leaders get paid to identify problems. But the truth of the matter is, it's not the identifying problems that you get paid for. It's the finding of solution and the overcoming or transforming of the challenge or the problem. So the key is not to focus on the problem after identifying whatever it is that you need to shift. For her, it was creating a training program. So let me ask you, what is an area of your business or of your life that you'd love to shift? And what's the problem? What's the challenge that you're facing? Think about it for a minute. Now here's what's interesting. Once you know what it is, if you continue to focus on it, guess what happens to it? It grows. It expands. It can become all-encompassing. And that's where Susie found herself. The way she described it in her life was, she said, John, I know I need to create this training program. When I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about it. And I know I need to do something about it. And yet I find myself freezing up. I found myself challenged in doing the steps I know that I need to do to create this training program. So here's the solution when you're faced with a problem like that. Instead of focusing on the problem, ask yourself this question. What am I doing well that's going right? Now, it's interesting. You would think, How can that help me with the challenge or the problem? But it's really funny. So for her as an example, for Susie, we'll go back to her story. I said, Susie, I hear you. You're not able at this point to move energy on creating the training program. Let me ask you this. When you get up in the morning and you get your day started, what do you do well? She goes, she was a little embarrassed at first. And she goes, well, one of the things that I do well in the morning is I get into my email and I start knocking out whatever challenges I'm facing or client responses, and I knock some of those emails out. And so I said to her, how do you feel when you get done with those emails and your inbox is empty and you've accomplished that in the morning? How do you feel? She said, I feel great. And when you think about the problem around the training program and that comes to mind, how do you feel? She said, I just have this weight in my gut. It makes my stomach feel sick. And I said, so let me ask you this. If we think about the way that you're handling your email as if it were a simple checklist. I mean, it's a list of things that come into your inbox and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you knock them out, and you feel great. What if we were to take this idea of this training program and we broke it down into a simple checklist? And she goes, well, that's a pretty simple idea. I go, yeah, exactly. It's not that difficult to do. What would be the first step? And we started to identify the steps that she could take. And I said, here's the deal. When you get into your office, rather than going to your email, look at this list and just knock one thing off the list. One thing. If you get one thing done toward this training program, I want you to go ahead and give yourself permission to feel the full energy that you feel when you get done with your email. Give yourself that feeling. So she went from focusing on the problem to focusing on something that she's grateful for, something that she's good at, something that has a feel-good energy to it. And that moved her energy from being stuck energy, to feeling successful. And all of a sudden, it just shifted the momentum around that particular idea, that project. So instead of focusing on the problem, focus on a solution. Instead of focusing and expanding the problem, focus on and expand the solution. It's the number one thing that transformational leaders do to sabotage their success, focusing on the problem. Transformational leaders know that you got to focus on the end result you want. You got to focus on the vision. You got to focus on what's going well. As Mary Morrissey says, gratitude as a vibrational feeling is on the same frequency as the concept of abundance. They're harmonious. When you're in a state of gratitude, you are in a state of abundance. And when you're focused on abundance, you're moving energy, baby. You're making more of what you would love to see happen. So there you go. That absolutely is a tool you can use and I can use this week. So if you agree with that, give me a comment below. Tell me something that you feel that you've been maybe stuck on and that you're going to focus on a solution. What's the solution? Tell me how it goes. Go ahead and share it in the comments below. Go ahead and like this message if you would. If you know someone else that could really benefit from this, share this with someone that you care about and help make a difference in someone else's life. And if you're new to the community, I want to say welcome. I'm glad you're here. Go ahead and subscribe, follow, and turn on notifications so that you can get the next Monday morning mindset for transformational leaders. Until then, make good use of this tool. And remember to think bravely and act boldly. Bye-bye.